Okay, so there she is, sitting pretty, almost ready to wire and fire. I've got to put the drip line on here and come out with a quick disconnect coupling, and the drip's going to go out here and down the back. I've got the VXT mounted. I've got a brass nipple and 90, and then a shut-off valve because, hey, why not? And then we've got it mounted there. Got the manual bypass, and the VXT is not wired up yet. It's 120 volt VXT. Got our backflow preventer right there, and there's the existing shut-off. These caddy clamps, they are copper tube size, and then we remove the rubber fitting on the inside and then have a direct connection to the 2-inch iron pipe, and it seems to work rather nicely. Very pleased with those. It's a little low. I may move this up tomorrow. We'll see. There's the 1-inch Hartford loop and wet return. I know that I am not dead and I'm not a liar, so I had a leak right at that union there. I had to take it apart and put it back together again. So I got some paper towels there to make sure it doesn't get an indication of any leak overnight. It's the gas line. Took some doing to get in. All of these fittings had Teflon tape on them, so I had to take them off because they were very loose. And so we put them together with just regular pipe dope. And we put the valve up here so that if we need to work on this for whatever reason and we need to take this line out, we're not butting into it. Do a clearance. So I've got this hot wired in, absolutely no safeties at all. Kids, don't try this at home. That's mounted, and we've marked it because it has to be 1/4 of an inch on the inside of the refractory, as you saw in other videos. And so we've got that marked in case this gets bumped and shifted. You can see whether or not that's going to change. Got our sight glass blowdown on a Street 45, a 1/4 inch brass Street 45. And you can see already we've got a little schmutz on there from the few minutes that we had this thing firing. As usual, the pressure troll came set to steam crabs, as it's set by the factory to for their testing procedures, and so it's up to the installer to drop it down to the minimum standards. This may require a vapor stat. We don't know yet. There's a shot of the back there. And we've got a 1/2-inch boiler drain there to make certain that that is that can drain, and then we've got the plug there, which can be removed, and the piece of pipe stuck down in there with a wet vac to suck out the remaining water if necessary. Yeah, let me get this over here. We had a little hiccup here. This came undone just as we were putting this together. So that's going to be replaced. And there is, let's see if I can get a shot of the barometric. Bear with me as I maneuver back here. There we are. There's our dual swing barometric. There's the, so you can see that in the back there. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if I can, let me get you a shot back in there. There you go. I don't know what you can step. Let's see. There you go. All right, let me pull this back out. And there's the block flue switch. Right there, there's a little sensor. And so that will get wired up. I'll go ahead and just turn this on just so you can hear it. We're going to have a 30-second pre-purge and then a trough for ignition. I think this thing is way overfired. So we got a 30-second trough for ignition, and you'll hear this thing fire off. Yeah, I think that's overfired. That thing will start bouncing up and down pretty soon. There it goes. Yeah. Okay, I think we've seen enough of that. I had a question about whether this can be fed with hot water. And yes, it can. They don't specifically say you can't in the instructions. The rubber diaphragm in here will tolerate the heat. And the only thing it might calcify up, but this is fed with the hot water right there. There's the feed on the outlet side of the water heater. So it's kind of nice in a way because it really keeps up the steam generation. With the hot water, you're not likely to crack the boiler. That's the one advantage. If you're not going to be pumping cold water back into the boiler. However, of course, it might tend to calcify that up a little bit more readily if this thing is a leaker and takes on a lot of hot water. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So there we go. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys' comments and questions. I hope this helps you, those of you who are learning, trying to do the best I can to share the very little that I know. And again, stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow.